Recently I started making a parkour game called Slide Force. Sliding is done, Force done. Now all I gotta do is sell my game to some of my friends for playtesting, and I'm sure they will love it.
Trying out the new Slide Force game. It's running at a steady frame rate of 1.0 FPS, guys. Might have to use some frame generation, but overall it's running perfectly.
Whoa. Let's rewind a bit and explain to you what is going on. 3 weeks ago, I started development on this game, and so far it looks pretty sick. It may look suspiciously similar to another popular game, KARLSON. Yeah, but it's actually drastically different from KARLSON because it has good movement, guns, and yeah, it's basically just KARLSON but my own version. Well, only if life was this easy. No, you can't download them. And there's no big button that says optimized game either, which is kind of sad since like most humans, I don't like suffering. To make matters even worse, my friend's laptop is kind of bad. When I first checked its specs, I thought I was looking at some 2009 laptop my grandma would have, because it has Celeron running at 1.1 GHz. Like what? This has to be the worst laptop that will ever attempt running my game. So fixing the performance is going to be one hell of a ride. And as it turns out, there was this tool which allowed me to check what exactly was using the most resources. And to be fair, I have no clue what is going on here. But one googling session later, I discovered that I had probably made the worst mistake when it comes to optimization. Dynamic lighting. You see, all these new AAA games are now being played because nobody can run them, and it's all thanks to dynamic lighting. So now not only does your PC has to handle the game's code, models, your emotions, by the way those are real, but also the lighting. And Nvidia is pushing RTX more than ever, which is going to tank performance even more. Yeah, and I'm rather sure that my game has this issue too, and let me show you why. Currently, if a player was flying through the map faster than approaching your house, the game, let's say, wouldn't like it. Reason being, it has to recalculate every single shadow when a player moves to a new area. No, I'm being dead serious every single time, and this is so inefficient. And as you can imagine, a player going in Mach 10 is far from ideal for the system. Not anymore, cause with static lighting, it's not that hard to understand from the name that all shadows and reflections are pre-calculated by the developer. Not like with a pen and paper. Sounds great to me. Let's press this boring button called Bake Live Maps. A really nice thing about baking lighting is that it doesn't take long to finish. So you can just grab some coffee, come back 10 minutes later and it's all What? 10% only? Oh, come on. I was wrong. A really nice thing about baked lighting is that it takes forever to finish. Like, you could go for a walk outside, touch grass, spend an evening with your family, come back, and see it's still calculating. Now, the inventors of static lighting must have loved Clash Royale and how pay-to-win it is, because buying a better graphics card makes it way quicker. And since I don't have a spare of $2,000 just laying around, I think I'm just gonna decrease the quality of shadows slightly. Maybe not by that much. Had to adjust a couple of settings and now it looks awesome. You can still see some artifacts, and I foreshadow people with no life complaining about how, oh, shadows are grainy in this absolutely random corner. Nah bro, just get a life. Anyway, time to see what my friend's PC has to say to this new version. Let's see.
Alright guys, source location just fixed the game. So now instead of an incredible 1 FPS, I have 3 FPS, and that's without upscaling, guys.
Now you might be thinking that I lied to you and told you that it runs, but it doesn't run actually well. And surprise surprise, you are wrong. You see, the problem all along was actually the renderer I was using, Vulkan. This modern graphics toolkit is designed for hyper-realistic, RTX, and everything else you can name that applies to anything but my game. Basically, the presence of these features is what really kills the performance here. So I did what any sensible man would do. Throw Vulkan in the garbage bin and switch over to OpenGL. Bada bing bada boom, and now my friend can actually play the game. Great! Since lighting is now static, it can look very realistic with little to no overhead, even on the crappiest hardware. Absolute cinema. I mean, look at the shadow, and this light, and this pistol? Why would I add a pistol to a parkour game, you may ask? Well, everybody likes guns, and I thought it'd be really dope to shoot firearms mid-air. So I opened up Blender, made this pistol model, embarrassed myself, deleted it, downloaded a model from the internet, added some cool effects so I can shoot targets. Whoops, I might need to adjust the recoil a tiny bit. Or do I? You see, with recoil being this large, you can abuse it to advance in the level in ways you previously wouldn't be able to. Don't get me wrong, I don't like abuse with guns, but this was an exception. So I added a couple of places in the new levels to utilize this new mechanic, like getting more speed here, getting over this big pit, and it really made the game feel more interactive. This is going so well. So yeah, actually this is going so horribly. I have just finished the end screen and I thought it was a total banger, but apparently not. Quote, pretty mid. It's probably a hit, I mean, it doesn't look that bad. Oh, or this. Looks like Roblox. No, it doesn't. So joke's on him. Roblox are. Wait a minute. How does it look again? Oh shit, maybe they were right after all. In the moment, I didn't even realize how bad it looked, but I'm glad my Discord members kindly gave me this valuable feedback. Not wasting any more time, I quickly remade those disgusting medals, replaced the Roblox font, and got this lame background out. This is definitely better than whatever the hell I've started with. And speaking of starting, I finally made the main menu for the game. I might have went a bit overkill with these animations, but that is the thing that the player sees first when booting up the game. Like, oh my. But once you enter the game, you're finally ready to experience the coolest parkour game out there. Or so I thought until I had to figure out the level design. As this stupid idea that crossed my mind didn't work out as well as I thought it would, I had to create proper maps with somewhat decent graphics, because currently, let's say, the levels don't look professional. If you're making a movement game, the gameplay just has to be on the dot. I'm trying to make a game that sparks joy, and if the levels aren't fun, then everything collapses and you get angry reviews on Steam, saying that you're the biggest loser a man has ever seen. You actually have already seen these two levels in the video across different parts, and that's no coincidence. I thought they were good enough to start, but when I tried completing those, I literally got them all done in under 11 seconds. So imagine this, you discover this new parkour game called Slide Force. You think, this seems alright, and download several gigabytes to try it out, and turns out the game is shorter than your TikTok attention span. No way I'm keeping it like that. So yeah, this is an easy fix, I just need to extend the levels a bit and add some more jumps. Nope, screw that, I'm simply combining the two levels together to form a bigger one, cause I don't want to do any extra work. There's still an elephant in the room we need to address, or at least the size of one, this wall. Why this wall in particular? Well, did you know that you can actually break it? No? Well, for once you're not alone, as my friends didn't think so too. To make it more intuitive for the player, I decided not to add any text or images suggesting that this wall is breakable, but make it out of glass, because apparently glass breaks. Yeah, that is the entire explanation. It also looks sweet with this shader I wrote, and also changed for sure. And with that all finally done, I present to you Slide Force. No words for this, it's just bussin'. Simply a fun project that I want to finish before summer so you guys can play for free on Steam. No, seriously, I don't want to charge anything for this game, because I think that this game needs to be available to everybody. And I promise not to abandon this project under any circumstances. You can have my word for it. In the next video, I will add even more levels, enemies, and maybe even release a demo together with a Steam page. But we will see. Join my Discord, subscribe, and see ya!